So, what's wrong with Georgetown, if it's still a big deal to you? Because Georgetown is still a big deal. It was for Christian communists who felt like the collective idea that Jesus supported was somehow the answer to the economic issues in the world. And to me, any religion that opposes individuality, or in this case, any section of a religion that does, is something worth looking at. It's something to keep an eye out for. Of course, it's not exclusive to any one religion. I'm not specifically trying to bash the Judeo-Christian religion. I am simply trying to show how it exists outside of religions such as Islam. While non-religious socialists try to use the Gospels for their beliefs, such as Gorbachev with his Jesus was the first socialist, yada yada, the idea of socialism is just something that can exist within any culture. There's always a left and a right in every culture. America has a left and a right, and so do African countries, etc., 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 and so do the Asian nations. Now, the more interesting side of this is that there are Bible quotes that you can use to promote such a belief. The Gospel of Luke, I believe it's 49. For he that is mighty hath done to me great things, and holy in his name, and his mercy is on them that fear him from generation to generation. He hath shewed strength with his arm. He hath shattered the proud in the imagination of their hearts. He hath put down the mighty of their seats, and exalted them to a low degree. He hath filled the hungry with good things, and rich he hath sent empty away. This is apparently God, Yahweh, Jesus, Jehovah, whatever you want to call this deity that is specifically in the New Testament. Basically, apparently people that are rich and successful are evil. And there's always been really religious movements when it comes to ideologies that support the poor. Now, of course, maybe the one that is ruling us, maybe this higher power is angry at me right now, which is why you hear that thunder in the background. But this is just me exposing the truth. And if I can't do that, then what's the point of being in America? Another example I think it's also in the Gospels of Luke. This is going to be a little bit longer. But it says, when his disciples heard it, they were greatly astonished, saying, Who then can be saved? But Jesus looked at them and said, With men it is impossible, but with God all things are possible. Kind of like the idea of a government saying, oh, the bureaucracy can just take care of all of us. Let's let the government pay for everything. As if that's ever worked. And Jesus went into the temple of God and cast out all of them that sold and bought in the temple, and overthrew the tables of money changers, and the seats of them that sold doves, and said unto them, It is written, My house shall be called the house of prayer, but ye have made it a den of thieves. And the blind and the lame came to him in temple, and he healed them. The lame. It literally says the lame. Ooh. Christian communists probably interpret this passage as having a figurative meaning, alluding to imagined weakness of pity of the poor. According to the left, what Jesus is referring to is the overturning of the economic provisioning of the tribes of Israel in the law of Moses. According to Exodus, the Levites are apportioned no land in Canaan from which to subsist, but are instead granted the sacrificed animals and grain from all the other tribes. And basically, long story short, Jesus was a socialist. Then again, you could say that about a lot of other religious figures. There are some Hindus and Buddhists that support it. There are obviously far left Muzzies out there, or Muslims, whatever word you want to use. And of course, yes, there are secular people within communist ranks, but when you really study the poor, when you go to communities where people are poor, I've been to Egypt, I've been to the poor parts of America, and it is true that the poor are more likely to be religious. Now, the reason behind it is, well, they have nothing else to look up to. So of course they're going to look up to the higher power. It's all they have left, right? So any society that actually encourages poorness is only making the situation worse. So of course theocratic societies are going to be more religious. And they are going to pander to totalitarianistic theocratic fundamentalists who will ruin their society.